Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my little corner of the internet, my little asylum for the curious and the brave. It's so lovely to see you again. I've missed our little chats. There's a certain chill in the air, isn't there? A delicious electric hum of dread that tells me you're craving something special. You've come to the right place. We're all a little mad here. We seek out the darkness, not because we want to be consumed by it, but because we want to understand the exquisite patterns it weaves into the tapestry of our lives. Tonight, we're going on a journey together, a curated tour through the most delightfully dreadful, the most beautifully broken, the most terrifyingly tender horror films that the year 2025 has to offer on our beloved Netflix. I've sifted through the shadows, I've listened to the whispers and the static, and I've selected 10 cinematic nightmares that I believe will truly resonate with your deepest fears and your most primal fears. Our first stop is a place of memory and mourning, a grand estate where the past is not only remembered, it is relived. I'm speaking, of course, of the Haunting of Bly Manor. Forget what you think you know about haunted house stories. This isn't about chains rattling in the attic or doors slamming in the night, though it has its share of spectral surprises. No, this is something far more insidious, far more heartbreaking. It's a ghost story, yes, but the most terrifying ghosts are the ones we carry inside us. Regret, loss, the suffocating weight of a love that never found its proper conclusion. It's perfectly splendid in its tragedy. The atmosphere Mike Flanagan crafts is a masterclass in quiet dread. Bly Manor itself is a character, a beautiful, decaying mausoleum waterlogged with sorrow. Now let us leave the misty shores of England and travel to a place far more mundane, yet infinitely more terrifying, a nondescript council house on the dreary outskirts of London. This is the setting for our next exhibit, the devastatingly brilliant His House. This film, my dears, is a stunning, visceral piece of work that understands a fundamental truth. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we bring with us. It's not about the house being haunted, it's about the haunting that the inhabitants bring into the house, a powerful and frankly overdue subversion of the genre. The story follows Real, a refugee couple who have escaped the unimaginable horrors of war-torn South Sudan, only to be placed in a dilapidated home by the British government. They are haunted by the ghosts of their past, both literally and figuratively. The supernatural terror that begins to plague them is inextricably linked to the real-world trauma they have endured. Are you ready to lose your religion? Our next film, Gareth Evans' Apostle, will certainly test your faith. We journey to a remote, windswept island at the turn of the 20th century. A place cut off from the world, windswept shoreline, empty docks, a small, rustic village with villagers in period clothing, close up on suspicious, staring faces. A charismatic prophet has established a seemingly idyllic community, but paradise is often just a prettier cage. This film is a descent into the madness of fanaticism, a brutal, blood-soaked folk horror nightmare. It's as beautiful as it is savage, a truly divine spectacle. The story follows Thomas Richardson. He travels to this isolated island to rescue his sister. From the moment he steps ashore, the air is thick with paranoia and suspicion. The oppressive groupthink, the constant surveillance, the chilling smiles of the devout that don't quite reach their eyes. Now let's talk about a fear that is truly universal, the fear of the unknown, the fear of what you cannot see. Our next film, Bird Box, takes this concept and builds an entire, terrifying world around it. It presents a simple yet devastatingly effective premise. There is something out there, an entity, a presence, that if you see it, will drive you instantly, violently insane. You will be compelled to take your own life in the most gruesome way imaginable. The only way to survive is to never, ever open your eyes. Isn't that a delicious little predicament? The film cleverly plays with two timelines. We follow Mallory, played with fierce, desperate intensity by Sandra Bullock, as she navigates a treacherous, blindfolded journey down a river with two small children. Interspersed with this harrowing ordeal, we see flashbacks to the beginning of the apocalypse, watching society crumble in a matter of hours. This structure creates a constant, unbearable tension. We see the destination and the origin simultaneously, but the journey between them is fraught with unimaginable peril. There is a certain kind of horror, an ancient horror, that slumbers in the deep, dark woods, a place where civilization is a distant memory, and older, more primal things still hold sway. Our fifth selection, The Ritual, takes us deep into these woods, and darlings, it is not a pleasant hike. This film is a terrifying journey into Nordic folklore, a masterful blend of psychological drama creature feature that will make you afraid to ever go camping again. It captures the feeling of being truly, utterly lost. The story begins with a group of 4 friends from university who, 6 months after the tragic, violent death of their friend, decide to go on a hiking trip in the Swedish wilderness to honor his memory. And then, my sweets, we meet the monster. The creature design in the ritual is one of the most original and disturbing creations in modern horror. Oh, nostalgia. It's such a potent, intoxicating drug, isn't it? It can make even the most gruesome memories seem romantic. Our next entry is a glorious 3-part celebration of this idea. I'm talking about the Fear Street Trilogy. This isn't just one movie, my darlings. It's an event, a sprawling, blood-soaked epic that pays homage to every slasher trope you know and love. It's campy, it's gory, it's heartfelt, and it is an absolute blast. A true summer blockbuster of screams. The trilogy takes us to the cursed town of Shadyside. Gruesome massacres have been happening for generations. In contrast, the neighboring town of Sunnyvale is perfect, prosperous, safe. The films jump between different eras, 1994, 1978, and 1666, to uncover the truth behind the curse of the witch, Sarah Fear. In our modern age, my dears, there are new kinds of ghosts, digital ghosts, phantoms that live in the machine that can steal your face, steal your voice, steal your very identity. Our 7th film, Cam, is a terrifying exploration of this uniquely 21st century horror. It's a neon-drenched, psychologically shattering techno-thriller about the fractured nature of online identity and the desperate, terrifying fight to reclaim yourself when a digital doppelganger takes over your life. It's a truly modern nightmare. The film follows Alice, a bright and ambitious cam girl who performs under the name Lola. She's obsessed with her ranking on the website, constantly pushing the boundaries of her performances. She treats it like a job, a game, a form of artistic expression. One day, Alice tries to log into her account and finds she can't, because someone else is already logged in, someone who looks exactly like her. This is where the true horror begins. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters, the most inescapable traps, are not in a haunted house or a dark forest, but right here, inside our own minds. Our 8th film, the brilliant and brutal Gerald's Game, is a testament to this truth. Based on the novel by the master Stephen King, a book many thought unfilmable, this movie is a claustrophobic psychological masterpiece. It strands its heroine in a single room and proves that the most horrifying journey is the one taken into the recesses of one's own memory. The setup is deceptively simple. Jesse and Gerald, a married couple trying to reignite the spark in their relationship, retreat to a remote lake house. Gerald, in a moment of cringeworthy inspiration, decides to handcuff Jesse to the bed for a little kinky game. But things go horribly, tragically wrong. Gerald suffers a massive heart attack and dies on top of her, leaving Jesse handcuffed to the bed, alone, with no one to hear her scream and a very hungry stray dog just outside the open door. There's a certain allure to the phrase based on a true story, isn't there? It's a seal of authenticity. This isn't just a movie. This could happen to you. Our 9th film, the Spanish supernatural horror Veronica, leans into this with terrifying effectiveness. It is allegedly based on the only police report in Spain documenting a paranormal event. Whether you believe that or not, my darlings, is irrelevant. The film itself is a masterclass in building atmospheric dread. The story is set in Madrid in 1991. Veronica is 15 and weighed down with responsibility. Her mother works long hours. Veronica is primary caregiver for 3 younger siblings. During a solar eclipse, the school watches outside. Veronica and 2 friends sneak into the school's basement to conduct a seance with a Ouija board. She tries to contact her recently deceased father, a noble, if foolish, intention. When you open a door to the other side, you don't always know who or what will walk through. From that moment on, Veronica's life unravels. The horror is not only jump scares, it's a slow, creeping infestation. Strange things begin to happen in their small apartment. For our final film, my darlings, we check into a very special kind of clinic, a place that promises a cure for the incurable. Our last stop is Eli. It starts as a familiar haunted house story then, just when you think you know where it's going, it pulls the rug out from under you with a twist so audacious, so delightfully unhinged, that it recontextualizes everything you've just seen. I have a particular fondness for it. It understands the beauty of a grand, theatrical reveal. We meet Eli, a young boy suffering from a rare and severe autoimmune disorder. He lives his life in a plastic bubble, allergic to the world itself. His desperate parents have exhausted all options and bring him to a remote, sterilized medical facility run by the enigmatic Dr. Horn. This clean house is meant to be his salvation, a place where he can finally be free of his bubble and undergo a radical experimental treatment. And there we have it, my darlings. 10 delicious descents into madness, 10 beautiful nightmares to keep you company in the long, dark nights of 2025. From the tragic romance of Bly Manor to the diabolical twist of Eli, each of these films offers its own unique flavor of fear. They remind us that horror is not just about things that jump out of the dark. It's about grief, trauma, identity, and the beautiful, terrible fragility of the human condition. Horror is a mirror, and sometimes the reflection it shows us is the most terrifying thing of all. I do hope you found a new favorite to haunt your dreams. Thank you for joining me on this little tour through the abyss. It's always such a pleasure to share the darkness with you. If you enjoyed our time together, if you felt that little thrill, that wonderful shiver down your spine, please do show your appreciation by liking this video, and more importantly, by subscribing to the channel. I'll be right here, waiting in the wings, ready for our next beautiful nightmare. Good night.